Hey everyone, I'm going to talk to you about your first Module 1 worksheet. So if you click on Module 1, sorry, my computer's being a little bit slow. It's found all the way at towards the bottom. You've got some instructions here, and then you've got the guideline and the rubric. So we're going to go ahead and open up that rubric first. Because this gives you like kind of the most information about this project. And so it's telling you you're going to review a list of government resources. You're going to select two that you're interested in, and then you're going to use the provided worksheet to help you identify important information. And then it kind of tells you like how you're going to complete it. So I will tell you right now that picking articles from the government website is the easiest way to do this and is also going to give you the best grade. Just trying to do a website is really harder, and it's also a lot of times the criteria isn't being met for the rubric whenever I grade it. If you just do like the Department of Fish and Wildlife website, but I'll show you what I'm talking about in just a second. So if you scroll down here, this is what you're being graded on, each one of these categories. So make sure you review that and use it like a checklist. Like, okay, did I introduce the resource and did I include the link? Yep, got that. Oh wait, I didn't explain why the date is or is not significant. I need to go back and put that in there. And so what's really helpful is that when you sorry, getting my links confused. When you click on this actual worksheet, there's a Word document that's provided here, and it walks you through everything that you need to do. So when I pull it up, right, you're editing this as you go along. So as far as like the list of government resources, when you click on that PDF, a PDF will pop up, and you can choose an organization that interests you. So if you're interested in the Department of Energy, you would click on it. If you're interested in Department of Agriculture, you can click on it. The Department of the Interior includes all of these things. Now you can go directly to the website. If you see the little hand, it's showing that this is a link. So these are all linked. So if you're really into USGS or the National Park Service, you can click on that link and it will take you to that website. If you are interested in the EPA, you can go there. So just make sure you scroll all the way down to the bottom. And I'm just going to go ahead and go to the Department of the Interior website, and you can see that what pops up is a whole host of things. And as I said before, it is much easier for this particular assignment to just click on an article that looks interesting or news. Most of them have those things on their homepage. And the reason why is because when you look at your worksheet that you're filling out, so it says provide the name of the resource and a link to the resource. So the name of the resource is, the Department of the Interior. And then the link is whatever website that you clicked on to get there, right? So we're just going to put that right there. That's just like a copy and paste. So is this resource an article or it's a website? So I clicked on an article, so I'm going to put article. And like I said, I highly recommend you do the article versus the website because it's going to ask you about dates and its relevancy and all of that. And that's a lot, who's the intended audience, that's a lot easier to do. Just from my experience, students tended to struggle more when they only chose a website versus an article on that website that interested them. So it says, if it is provided, what is the date? So the date is listed right here. Right, so okay, 10/18/2022. Is the date significant for use in research? So this is where understanding your information from Module 1 comes into play, because dates are significant. If you pull up something from 20 years ago, that's not as relevant as something that was just recently published or like a new scientific breakthrough. And so when you're conducting research, you want your research to be as up to date as possible. You don't want to be using outdated information. So you would kind of discuss that in this section right here. Okay, so who created the resource? So you could put, the Department of the Interior created this resource. There is sometimes there will be an author listed. In this particular case, there isn't one, so you would just put the Department of the Interior created it. It just depends on the resource you chose. And then why do you believe this resource was created? So if we look at the title, development of first ever consultation policy with Native Hawaiian community, and then we were reading about it, like, okay, well, the reason why it was created was to announce this, this community on self-governance for Native Hawaiians. So this particular section, it doesn't require like paragraphs and paragraphs of information, but you need to put, probably 3 to 4 sentences talking about why was this resource created. If you just put a single sentence, that's not really gonna, this is an undergrad class. It's a, it's a college course, so there's rigor expected. A single sentence probably isn't going to cover all the information that you need to cover and will get marked down in the rubric. So all of these things require, a full explanation. So for number 7, it says, who do you think the intended audience or reader is? So why was this written? Who was this intended for? Was it the general public? Is it a certain aspect of the public? So like, let's say you went to the USGS site and it was an article about, the age of the earth. Like, who would be the intended? Is it educators? Is it other scientists? And then explaining it as why, like, why do you think it's for that particular audience? Like, what about that particular article or website is suggesting that is the intended audience or reader? And then if you wanted more information on this topic, where would you look and why? So if you wanted more information about this consultation policy with Native Hawaiian community, where would you go? Would you, most people, most good research, if you want more information on the topic, you would be looking at, other government websites. You'd be looking at journal articles from the library. Google search is kind of iffy, right? Because things on the internet are not always true. There's a lot of misinformation on there. So this is where you're bringing in what you learned from the module in week 1. Then you're going to go right down to the next government resource. So you would choose a different, like you wouldn't choose the Department of the Interior. You'd pick a different organization, right? So you'd go back to your page here, and let's say you were, you wanted the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. And so here's their page, right? Here's their news, right? We're looking at the Endangered Species Act right here. So this is a press release, right? So then you would just go into your, paper and fill everything like you did above, but it's just for a different resource. So then after you're done filling all that in, you're gonna submit it. But before you submit, go back and look at your rubric, okay? Whoop, wrong thing, sorry. Right, to make sure that you have everything. So, why is the date significant? Why was this resource created, right? So potential reasons, see, that's plural. So there should be a couple of reasons that you're talking about in that area. You identify the intended audience and explains like why is that the intended audience? Right, so these are all like to get proficiency on this assignment. Where would you look for more information on this topic and why? And that one, like I said, please don't say I would do a Google search without explaining like why is that okay versus like the shortcomings of that versus looking at reputable sites versus like maybe news organizations that have a slant to them or maybe a potential bias to them. So like I said, bringing in the things that you learned in module 1, because we read about and you learned about how there can be potential biases in research. So let me know if you have any questions. I'd be more than happy to help explain everything. And yeah, have fun. Make sure you pick things that you're interested in, so that way you're engaged with the topic. All right.